Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, good evening. Let's wait for more people to join in and then I'll begin. Hello, good evening. Hi, ma'am. We'll begin in a few minutes. All right, let's begin. Hi, good evening. My name is Jeel Mehta. I'm a journalist, a content writer, a content creator, a music enthusiast, and an aspiring singer and chef. Today, we have a special guest who will be joining us to give us insights in the field of makeup artistry and also knowing about her journey. She has worked in the film industry for the past 33 years and still counting, styling models, giving stunning makeovers to Bollywood actresses like Devi, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Sonam Kapoor, Deepika Padukone, Isha Kopikar, and many more. Also, she has styled Hollywood pop icons like Mariah Carey and Britney Spears. She has contributed her works in the South as well. So let's welcome on board the one and only, the diva Ojas Rajani. Hi,
Hi,
ma'am.
how are you?
All
So good
well.
to see you. My God, you're such a pretty looking girl.
Thank you so much, mom. You look gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. I'm in my home clothes. I'm not dressed up, nothing. I'm like, oh God, it's a Sunday. I couldn't be bothered.
Gorgeous in anything.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my darling.
So, ma'am, let's get on to know about your journey on pursuing a career as a makeup artist. What, or rather, who inspired you to take up this career?
I think I was always very artistic as a child, which I've always mentioned. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, which not many people know. But I was always very kind of influenced with makeup as a child, watching, old Bollywood movies. And, that time there was no internet, to be very honest. When we grew up, like I remember I was in school in the fifth standard or something, and when we really had our senses all out about watching. Sunday used to be the special day because Sunday you're home with your family, and that is the time when you're watching Hindi movies. Barely Hindi movies come in black and white. Then they had the colored screen where we used to get it on color. So we've all grown up watching, and I'm sure Dipali or Aunt will tell you that I'm very vocal about things which I don't like, or I always distinguish what looks perfect, what doesn't look perfect, or what is professional, what is not professional looking, or who is stylish and who's like terrible. So that time I used to watch Rajesh Khanna Mumtaz movies a lot, and I was always be very fascinated the way Mumtaz's makeup. If you see any of her movies, it should look flawless, natural, very light lipstick. If you see that whole era, had very
Right.
light lip colors. They never wore dark lip colors unless it was like a cabaret song or something, or even Helen for that matter. Though she experimented with the looks, but she was very bang on. And I was always feel, and certain time when you see the other heroes like Mala Sinha, she was such a disaster in her dressing. And same thing, we started growing up and we started watching so many actresses, and it's always distinguished that, oh my God, she's so cool and trendy, and this one is really terrible, she really needs help. And I feel that time, like when you're surrounded with so many, I had a sister, my mom, my aunt, my cousin. So it's always love to kind of revamp their look. That was like an inner itch I used to always have that, my God, why is she such a behenji? Why is she being so, kind of terrible in her dressing sense? I would always, from childhood, want to kind of revamp somebody's personality and used to be very dominating for that fact, which sometimes would piss off people. Like my sisters get very annoyed that don't tell me what to wear, don't tell me what to do. But slowly, slowly, they started realizing that naturally I had a very good vision about transforming a person. in a good way. Not that making you look like one, total cabaret dancer or something, making you look very aesthetically good. Because, nowadays it's more important putting things together and looking perfect than looking like a rag. And I
True.
think that personality somewhere down the line really helped me to be where I am today.
Lovely. So, you have worked with most of the Bollywood and Hollywood actors, and if we compare the two platforms, which was more comfortable to work with?
Uh, See, one good thing about Hollywood is that they're extremely professional, extremely on time, extremely bang on about everything. So that way, I think Hollywood is very good. But only thing is, Hollywood, you have to tag along everything on your own. You're in Bollywood, we're more spoiled with timing. We have our assistants, we have a hairstylist, we have a spot boy. There's so many people helping us around. I remember when I was working for an actress I cannot name on an international movie for 1 month. And the other side, there was a Pirang actress, and she never had 20 people around her. And she would tell me that, what are you coming every 2 minutes to puff her face and to check her hair? It's okay, relax. This is Hollywood. This is not your Bollywood that you're coming every 10 minutes to check on her. She's looking fine. If there's a problem, the DOP will tell you, but just chill and sit down. So there, the makeup artists are very cool, chilled out. And I myself have trained in America. I've trained in the Miami School of Hair and Makeup in Beauty Schools, America. So there, I was taught that you have to be very professional. So I feel actresses, like I said, when I came to India, there was a set of non-English speaking makeup artists and English speaking makeup artists, and people who were a little more trendy in their whole approach. So basically, we were more from the advertising background, but we had the whole rigmarole of the approach of how a look should be. Whereas they were very old school, the Dada makeup. Where if you tell them this is what I want, they'll struggle to get that look. So I feel that was very shaky that time. But I feel what they taught us in Hollywood or in the West was that once you're a professional, you know your job, you know you've done perfect, you don't need to 20 times come and touch up, which is very true. And in Bollywood, on the other hand, actresses are spoiled that every 5 minutes they need a mirror. There are some actresses, while doing makeup, also need a mirror to check. I mean, then if you don't trust somebody, then don't work with that artist, right? If you think you know it all, do it yourself. Why do you need an artist? So I think I think still, yes, there's a lot of respectably come now to Bollywood, but I think still we deserve a lot more, because today we are the people that were looking after the actors so well on a set. They bloody well be good to us and grateful to us, because what they get paid is like millions and we get not even a percent of what they get paid, But still, I feel there should be a nice striking balance between an actor and an artist, because that keeps the show going so well.
Absolutely. So, as we know, you have been, giving master classes on Instagram, tutorials on makeup, and getting a perfect, application of makeup to apply. So, I had somebody who wanted to ask you this question. So, to know that, is there a difference between applying makeup for a TV shoot and applying makeup for a live appearance?
I would say yes and no. So basically, gone are the days when people used to lather so much of makeup on their face. I'll give you a very good example of Shilpa Shetty. If you see her debut movies right from Bazigar till Dhadkan, you could actually see the layers on her face. There should be so much of a layer on her face. Whereas now if you see her, whether in a TV show, whether you see her in an appearance, she's so well turned out, so minimal and so lovely, because she's got her foundation, the base bang on. So I feel till you don't find the right base, or your makeup artist doesn't know how to give you a flawless, natural looking base, I think it's a total disaster. So I feel today, whether you're doing an appearance, whether you're doing a TV show, whether you're acting for a movie from morning to night, the makeup is always very minimal. The base, which we call, or even if you see when we do weddings, earlier I remember when I used to go for weddings, I used to get a heart attack, seeing that bride looking like, I don't know what, like a whopping doll, it was terrible. And even still date, some places, people still wear that hideous, loud makeup, which cracks, looks ugly, you sweat and looks patchy. And I feel more makeup when you wear, you look older. And the minute you wear less makeup, you look much more youthful, more glowing, more dewy, which is the trend now, right? Completely. Like a very good example would be Deepika Padukone in Baji Rao Mastani. She kept everything so flawless and minimal, and that says it all. Or if you see Ashwara and Jodha Akbar, again, very flawless, very minimal, it says it all. But the minute an actor or a bride or a normal human being, when they go a little OTT, it starts showing. So whether it's an appearance, whether it's TV, whether it's movie, I feel the process, the technique, everything is the same. Because when you talk about appearance also counterparts for a bride. Because a bride and appearance is the same thing. They're all, going to be looking great for long hours. So you have to remember longevity, that the makeup has to stay flawless, has to stay perfect. But by doing proper skincare. There are particular primers we use. That's why we teach people professionally that how you can get that flawless look which remains long. Even if you go underwater swimming, your makeup will last for a long time.
That's really good tip. That's a really good tip. Even I think I should also apply it now. Okay, so what is that one cosmetic or a brush that Ojas Rajani cannot leave the house without?
Brushes, I think I've started my own brush line, the Ojas Journey signature brush line, so definitely I can't do without them because taking in mind each brush we've designed according to the precision, according to the requirement of a person's face, right from the brush thickness to the weight to the smoothness of the brush to how much of hair should be or what is perfect for the socket line, the crease line, which we call in the makeup language. So that is very important. So yes, definitely I think those brushes really make a difference for even a normal no makeup person also because it really guides you to get the perfect lines. Because I may give you a brush but you don't know how to contour in which way or to do the socket line, you will go a little haywire. But when they explain to you with each brush and the brush is perfect to kind of stay on the crease line, you'll master the art very fast. So that's what I think is great. And I think nowadays, people give you get in the market fantastic tinted moisturizers or tinted sunscreen. Like when I work with a Katrina, they don't even wear foundation. At the most, they just use a tinted sunscreen or a tinted moisturizer on the face or a concealer and you're sorted. I think a concealer is what does the magic. You don't need so much of a shebang of makeup. One concealer, one lipstick, which works 3 in 1. The lipstick works as a lipstick, it works as a blush, it works as a, eye jelly and you're sorted. You don't need more. And this mascara, why would you need so much makeup? Like, you give an example of a skin commercial. You see a Lux commercial. There's such minimal makeup, but they still look so gorgeous. But that's
Right.
how it should be, right? Now, today if you see Anushka Sharma, Deepika, even Sonam for that matter, has literally toned down her makeup from what she used to earlier do. And she started looking more fresher, more youthful, more pretty. So I think that does the trick.
Lovely. So, like, you are one of the top makeup artists in the industry, and we are proud to have you. And I know many are inspired by you, and so am I. So, what were the ups and downs which you have faced in your career? And when you started off your career, was Bollywood welcoming to you? And how much Bollywood changed trend-wise over the years? Uh, and which do you prefer, the then or the now?
um, I would say Bollywood has evolved in a great way, but I think the actors, everybody is great and welcoming, whether it is the yes year actresses or the present actresses. I think now it's become easier for people to venture into makeup into Bollywood. But when we started off, it was very difficult because A, there was no great brands available. There was not so much of training given. Now everybody is given training online. You just click a button and you say problem skin tutorial. They show you problems. They show you how to hide pores, open pores, pimples, pigmentation, rash. So you get an overnight pimple. You know how to cover it. So I think I prefer that era because during that time, uh, nothing was ready-made on a plate. What happens when everything is ready-made on a plate? That excitement goes away. But that time there was nothing ready-made on a plate. So we used to struggle to find out looks from magazines. We used to go to those Pasti Wala, Raddi Wala, and look through those Vogue magazine and the Purane magazines where we used to do our research, or we used to even try and do things on our own face. Like I remember I've done something for Sri Devi for one of her movies. I actually practiced that whole look on myself before doing the song, or even for Urmila. And I'm sure a lot of people know that I'm one of those only makeup artists who does hair and makeup both because I think I've really mastered the art doing it on myself as well. So I can finish hair and makeup in 1 hour, which your aunt will tell you, Dipali. I've traveled the world with her and Malaika Arora, where it was only me. There was no assistant, there was no hairdresser, there was no costume person. So I'm helping Malaika to do her hair, to do her makeup, to do her costume, wear everything. Plus on stage, if there's a quick change, she comes, throw this, wear this, put this hair gear, remove this. So we've done it all. And I think that was very exciting. That's what kept us going. You know what I'm saying? Because when everything is ready-made on a plate, there's no excitement, how it's all available, it's all fine. But that time with less product, still we created magic. So I think that's what kept us going. Plus, even I was very attached to Sri Devi, to Madhuri, to Urmila. I think that attachment somewhere down the line really works magic, or even Fishwari for that matter. So I think we've really created a strong bond over the years. So I really miss those days, though today's generation is very welcoming. In fact, today's generation very easy to work with. They're all done their homework. Everybody knows what they want. But I think those were memorable days because those were our struggling days when we just started, and you should always appreciate those days and appreciate that how much they all welcomed us. Like I'll give an example, which is Bali not told you a thing. I used to be a costume designer first, and then I got into hair and makeup. So I feel as a human being, as a lay person, whoever's watching a show, that what you manifest, you will get. When you manifest positivity around you, you will say, okay, my God, there's a halo of protection around me. Everything will happen in a nice positive way. But the minute you get insecure, oh my God, this one thing, this and that one looking like this, and then you get into that dirty racket and you will never grow as a person. So I feel when you manifest positive, I'll give you an example of Malaika. So I started my career with Urmila and I'd done tons of movies and songs and everything. And I was itching to work with Malaika. By that time I used to watch this show called MTV Grind. You know, she used to be on a ball in the swimming pool and dancing and gyrating. And the shoot used to happen at Mukesh Mil Kulaba every Sunday. And I used to always wonder that when the hell am I going to get to work on this diva? She's so pretty. I would love to style her, you know. And I used to do a lot of advertising that time. So there was one person called Sanjeev Sharma who runs a production house called Palette Communications and Optimistic. He's a very big producer, director, everything. And he was directing an ad with Malaika for Dum Pan Masala. And he said, Ojas, I've got a chance to style Malaika. So you're going to be doing her clothes only, not hair and makeup, mind you. So I said, okay, no problem. Kahin to shuruaat hogi, right? So it was the first day I went to Malaika to meet her on the shoot, and yes, she was this diva who like all over, whatever. But again, very welcoming, very loving. So I think somewhere down the line, touched with my personality, instead of backfiring, I think it helped me to gain love from my actors, actresses. Nobody was homophobic or behaving very, oh my God. Well, yes, there were some people, some men would behave a little strange, but it never bothered me. But I would definitely say that whether it was Urmila or Malaika, on the first day, they respected me so much. They never asked me for a trial, number one, because nowadays they have this stupid trend, oh, I want a trial. Even a bride to be wants a trial when you're a nobody. That also a free trial. Whereas that time, when I was a nobody, I was accepted with a lot of love, dignity, right from an Aishwarya Rai to a Malaika, to a Deepika, to a, Urmila, to everybody. So I remember when I went for the shoot, I was telling Sanjeev I want to do her makeup. So Sanjeev said, oh, just believe in yourself. It will happen. It was a 3-day shoot. Hear me out carefully. It was a 3-day shoot in Mukesh Mills. First day, she had her own personal makeup artist and hairdresser come, and they did an okay job, not bad. Because see, Malaika is very beautiful. Nobody can make her look bad, to be honest. Right. So I was telling her, why don't you do the hair like this? Will get more bounce. So she said me, oh really, baby? Why don't you do it yourself then? I said, okay, fine. Wash your face. I'll do your face. And she actually used me for the next 2 days to do her hair and makeup. And I still have those memory pictures in my albums, where I have done her hair and makeup and costume. So after that, she started using me a lot for her makeup, hair, costume, everything. And then slowly started doing so many shows and shoots and events. We've done a Reliance ad, we've done a Durian furniture ad, we've done a De Beers jewelry ad, we've done so much. So I feel when an actor starts getting comfortable with you is when you show your talent and when you make them comfortable. You could be a fantastic makeup artist, but if your personality and your nature is not easy, that also backfires. I guess you have to be very adjusting, very accommodating, and always use this word, okay darling, okay darling. This okay darling always works. Supposing somebody is hyper, in a bad mood, actually calms you down. So I feel when you're positive, when you're calm, when you're confident about your work, there is no stopping. Same thing with an Aishwarya Rai. I had never worked with her. I had used to love her, admire her. Obviously, who doesn't love her? I got my first Coca-Cola ad with her, imagine, just out of the box. I was shooting in Europe for another ad film for a Nirma washing powder, imagine. I was shooting for Nirma washing powder and suddenly I got a call saying that, are you interested in doing an ad with Aishwarya? I said, I would love to. And when I come back straight, I go for a shoot the next morning. There was no trial, nothing. Same thing with the Sushmita Sen who welcomed me with open arms. Same thing with Urmila. I remember she was recommended to me through a photographer called Suresh Natarajan, who was one of the top photographers of the country. And he just vaguely had recommended my name to her, and Ram Gopal Verma was looking for a makeup artist for her. And she called me to a house in Andheri where she used to stay earlier. Now her house is bought by Sonu Sood. But earlier that was her own house, it was a duplex. And I see her coming around the staircase. I'm like, oh my God, she's there. She's so gorgeous. And if you see her, she's so stunning in person as well. And a lovely, warm personality. No airs, no drama at all. That will have been very blessed that none of my actors have ever given me attitude, airs. They've always been very loving, very accommodating. So I feel very sad when people bitch about Bollywood, because Bollywood is what gave us today our identity, our bread and butter, a living for all of us, plus respectability. I think what Bollywood has given is so much of respectability and love for us, because our work has gone to leaps and bounds all over the world, because all the NRIs love Bollywood. So that's why we got so many weddings to do, right? So I will always be very grateful to Bollywood because today we are an identity because of Bollywood actresses and our stars. So again, like I said, when I met Urmila for the first time, I went with my whole kit. I said, "Ma'am, would you like to try?" I said, "Forget. First of all, don't call me ma'am, call me Urmila, and I don't need a trial. I've seen what you are, and I'm very happy." And we started shooting. So I think
Okay.
that's the kind of love and adulation which I've got. I really appreciate those actresses because they were very memorable, pieces of my career, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something very nice which I got to hear. I think I was lucky to, hear your journey and part of it. So, I just wanted to ask you, you must be having so many memories working for so many years in the industry, which you could probably cherish. Could you share one of your best experience working with an actor or an actress?
Uh, I think every experience and every actor has been very memorable. So it'll be very unfair to take one name, but definitely the credit definitely goes to an Aishwarya Rai because, like I'll give you an example. I was shooting, yes, I was shooting Chandra. So basically, I remember I had just signed up the contract for the movie Kites with Hrithik Roshan, Kangana, and Barbara Mori. And we had already done a photo shoot in Bombay at the Yashraj studio with Dabu Ratnani and Barbara Mori. Mori had been called to Bombay and she loved the hair and makeup because luckily I'm very good with Firang skin, I can get it bang on. And again, the look was very minimal, very sweet. Um, Hi, Bhavra. Thank you so much. So basically, when I did the trial, everything we all worked out, we signed up the dotted line, we shot a few scenes here. And then something did not work where they wanted me to give them a package deal for Kangana's makeup and Barbara's makeup. And I was very upset and I said, I don't want to do the movie. And I went and got my passport back from Mr. Rakesh Roshan's office. Can you imagine? And I said, I don't want to do the movie. And I came back home and I was very grumpy, I was very upset, I was very depressed. Okay. But then again, my mother's into Brahmakumari ashram. I'm sure Dipali must have. My mother's always brought us in such a way that we should always be grateful to the universe, always be positive, and always think confidently positive, never think negative. So she said, okay, fine, calm down, start meditating. And I used to wake up with her at 3:30 a.m. We call it the Amrit Vela time. Till date, whenever I'm a little lower down, she makes me meditate at 3:30 a.m. And trust me, it just works so magical. So I started meditating, and within 2 days from nowhere, I had shot with Ishwara for a couple of movies. Then in between for 2, 3 months or 5 months, there was no contact. I just met her at the IFA Awards in Bangkok, and that's it. Then after that, we were not in touch for a while because I didn't want to do full movies. I was too tired doing too much work. Suddenly, Ashwara's phone call comes that, Ojas, I'm signing up this movie called Robot. Would you be interested in doing it in South America? And that time, imagine I was doing a television reality show with 12 couples. I can't remember the name, but it was some Swayamvar or something on Star Plus. And I asked the
Okay.
producer, see, I'm getting a chance to go for a very big bang on movie. Is it okay if I go? Because this was the every Sunday shoot, we were having at Badala or something, we were shooting with Cine Vista. So they said, yes, definitely, Ojas, as long as you think your team can take over. And I had a big team always. So they said, okay, fine, if you're confident your team can take over, you're more than welcome. I called Ishwar, said, yes, I am on. Next day, my papers went and we flew to Robot. And Robot has created history for my career, for Ishwarya's career, for her hair and makeup, because I think never has she ever looked better before, or no actress has dared to experiment so much. And even Manish Malhotra has done such a fabulous job on each and every costume. Every song was like ethereal, like a magical moment. So I feel that was really a God blessing which came, like I said, because it was positive, because I was confident that no, something good is coming. So you know what? I'm trying to give the example. Never cry over spilt milk. Like something doesn't happen. Always take it as a blessing. हम लोग कभी कभी सोचते हाय बाप रे ये नहीं हुआ मेरा ये क्यों नहीं हुआ because we're not letting go of the past. How will we ride in the future? It's like that, right? So what was
Right.
not meant to happen will not come to you, but what was meant to happen for you will come to you, come what may, and I believe in that definitely.
Absolutely. I think what we manifest, it comes to us.
Definitely.
So, talking about today's young generation, they are pretty pressurized and facing a cutthroat competition of, becoming a doctor, engineer, that stereotypes, or something what they call as a dignified career. The mentality is still going on in India, and to take up a career according to what our parents say or what the society, demands. So, what is your take on that? Did you face any such barriers in your way?
I guess, see, the Indian mentality is always biased about Bollywood, about this, about that. Like, we've always had our fathers and our mothers who would become a doctor, become an engineer, become this, become that. But I'm sure people like me, or many more people like me, who have set a standard, because I've done a show called Mehuna 18 years back on Zoom, where they've celebrated the whole thing with me, with Saif Ali Khan, with Kareena, with again Isha Kopikar, Neha Dupia, Urmila, talking about my journey and about me, where I'm telling the message is that each person should definitely choose their own career, and everybody should be given a right to choose their own career. Because I'll give you my example. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I've completed my ICW and a CA. I worked as a CA for 1 year. I've graduated from the best college of the world called the Sydenham College from Bombay, and Yash Birla was my classmate. So when we've had the best of times, whether it was college or school, we've had talent parade, jam sessions, fashion shows. I used to model as a school kid. I've never taken a rupee from my father from the time I was in the 10th standard. I used to earn my own money because I used to every month do some small ad, some fashion show. I used to do window displays. So I feel if you prove to your family and your parents that you're worthy of what you're doing, yes, they will have their choices that they would put forward to you. But I feel if you're dedicated, you're focused, and you know what you want, nothing can stop you. I'm the biggest example. But definitely, what I feel is that yes, nowadays especially, I think during our time it was very tough because suddenly from being a CA to being a makeup artist, I remember one of my father's stupid idiotic friends said, "Oh, what is your son doing? He's becoming a hajam." And today I'm sure he must be biting his hand, feet, everything, looking at my success. And plus, I think I'm very proud to be the way I am, that I'm looking after my parents. There are so many straight kids that they call themselves, so-called straight kids, who don't even look after their parents. They get married and they run away with their wives. The parents are bichara struggling in their old age. Nobody's there to look after them. Or even daughters, they go away to their husband's house. So who's looking after the parents? So what kind of a straight kid are you? I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be called a kid then. You're a shame according to me. So I feel just because somebody's sexual priorities are different, you cannot judge them or be mean to them, I feel. And also nowadays, I feel parents also more willing to let the kids experiment. But yes, see, every father and mother, what you have to remember this world is nobody but your father and mother will wish the best for you. No friend, husband, relative will wish. The parents are the best, especially the mother always wishes the best for the kid. So I feel definitely hear them out, but put your situation across them, let them understand and win their confidence. Because see, when I was effeminate or when I was childish, but I was still doing great things, I convinced my parents that, darling, I can earn money. See, what does your father, mother want to do? You're a news reader, you're a whatever you are, but by the end of the day, your parents wanted to be successful. Okay, my daughter should be financially secure, that tomorrow, God forbid, any difficult situation comes, she should be capable of handling herself. That's what every parent wants. So once you convince your parents about that, I feel they feel it's great. Obviously, good and bad is everywhere. A lot of people talk about Bollywood, but even the corporate world is as bad everywhere. So I guess the good and bad is everywhere. But today, if you know what you like and you do it with 100%. And supposing if you don't have the aptitude, your father may be a doctor, mother may be a doctor, but you're not born to be a doctor because your aptitude may be to be the way you are. You're so good as a journalist. Your creativity is more, you're exploring so many other new horizons in your life. So nobody can force a kid. And that's what I always request everybody in my message around the world is that please trust your child's aptitude. If you want, do an aptitude test, but give them the freedom to discover themselves and to do what they are. Because when you do, supposedly, if you're in football, if your parents allow you to do football or a cricket, suppose look at Virat Kohli today, he's such a proud citizen of India because his parents encouraged him to be today what he is. He's the top cricketer of the world. So I guess once parents encourage us to, do that and share the platforms for us, and we need that little push and that boost, we always do well. But the minute, we are shaky, oh, main ye karu, oh, what do I do? Oh my God, my 10th science finished now. Should I do art? Should I do science? Should I college? Oh, my friend is John home science. You can't listen to what your friends are doing, or you can't be so confused about what each other person is doing, what your persona is.
Right.
And I feel today like Ishwara Rai or even Malaika said this in front of Dipali that I trust Ojas blindly that even we know when she's sleeping, she'll do a good job on us. So which is true that what happens is because I love my job so much that if you've seen, even if I'm not being well, if you've been seeing my Instagram, I was not well and people was running around, working long hours, but we give it 100% because we enjoy it because I get a thrill out of my job, right? You understand? When you're enjoying your work and when you're doing something what you like, you give it 100%. But when I was a CA, I used to bunk work. I used to feel so miserable. Oh God, what is this sitting in the office? Because I know I'm not made up for a desk job. Like I'm great with figures. I handle my own accounts with my dad's help definitely. But I find it very boring. I'm always made for glamour, for a little more larger than life things. I like to decorate the house. If you've seen me, I've bought a new house. I've decorated the house. I like to do these things. I like something which is very creative and something which is really pleasing to the eyes. I like to make everybody look beautiful, look perfect, look happy. I'm like one of those old school child who always was visionized about a very happy family. I remember when my mother and father we used to watch movies. There was a very cute movie called Hare Ram Hare Krishna where there was a song Phoolon ka Taro ka Sabka Kehna Ek Hazar. So you know that family life, or there's a song that Jil Mil Sitaro ka Angan Hoga Rim Jim Baratata Savan Hoga Aisa Sundar Sapna Apna Jeevan. So it shows and signifies about a happy family with a kid with a lovely house. So that has always been my vision because I feel that's so important. That and touch wood, I've lived in America for 6.5 years. So I know I have valued every day of my parents' upbringing because I was alone. I was lonely. Yes, we were young, so we had friends who have party. But by then, when you come back home, there's nobody for you because the American life is very fast. It's very like chill. Okay, you go home, you go home. Nobody cares about you. They don't have those feelings because they're brought up like that. Their parents also after 18 years old, the parents start living separate, the kids live separate. Whereas we Indian families have always had that backbone of our parents. Like today also, if I'm upset, if I'm depressed, or if something bothering me, I can go and talk to my parents. So I think that we should really cherish as Indians because we are so blessed to have such wonderful families, you know. Though they call our parents, oh, they're very old school, they're very orthodox. Sorry, they're not. They mean the best for us because today with their blessings is where we are today, right?
Absolutely.
We have to say that today you cannot show off and say it's my hard work, it's my creativity, it's my this. You cannot say this is my. It's always a blessing in disguise. When you've done something good happens back to you. So always count your blessings. That's what people say. Do not fly very high in life because life is very substantial. Everything is very shaky. You know, what goes up has to come down again. That's the law of nature. You cannot fight the law of nature. Or nor can you defy the law of nature. So I feel always be humble, be grounded, be loving because I feel, you know, the universe is, when I give you love, you automatically give me so much love back. You understand? So I think that is the best reward that one can expect, right? And these materialist things, yes, we are in that profession where we like things, but are we? I'll give you an example. Today you're a young girl. You may have 5 Jimmy Choos, 2 Louis Vuitton bags. Are you happy? No, you want still more. You want a guest. You want this. You want that. But if you're going to be happy with those 5, you're going to be so content. Your face is glowing. You're so happy. There's no stress line because you're so happy with what you have. So always be happy here with what you have because all these wants, these desires are never ending, right? And there's no end to it. It's a very fake world out there. Let's face it, like you were asking about today's generation. I love today's generation because they're very competent, very powerful, but there is too much of, I feel there's too much pressure on a child. I'm sure somebody of your age, it's not fair to you all that because, you know, you're brought up in a certain way, your friend is brought up because your friend may be coming in a Mercedes to college and you be coming in a rickshaw. So there's so much of pressure on you and that's not right as a child. Or even social media nowadays, all these rich girls who are, you know, collaborators or whatever, they're putting up a photo, I'm in Dubai, I'm posing here, or I'm having my hair done in this nail spa and I'm doing this, or I'm wearing this ring. So the normal common child starts getting an inferiority complex. It's not right to that child. See, it's not about the money. Every parent is trying to give the best to every child and that's what they always do. But I feel, especially for the young boys and girls, I'll give an example of school. When I was in school, our parents were from a humble background. They used to give us Camel pencils. You know, Camel, Camel, and Camlin, it was called felt pen. जो पैसे वाले के बच्चे थे, they used to get Stedler की pencils and Stedler की felt pen from Singapore. My father just got from Germany, Stedler. But today, if I had the art, with that Camlin pencil, I got an A++. But that donkey, even using a Stedler pencil, was getting a D because his craft was 0. It's your artistic skill, your craft, your aptitude. So it's not about these brands and about, like today you could look very good with a Lakme makeup also. It's not that you have to use a Giorgio Armani or you have to use a Anastasia or a Huda Beauty. Like today, if you know your makeup right, you could look very good with lactocalamine and just a lip balm.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we started makeup, like I said, there were no brand, but I'm sorry to say we are proud that we created magic. We literally created magic. So nowadays, everything is so easily available on a platform. Yes, competition is there, but competition is good because it makes you strive to do better and better. Because if there's no competition, we'll be very thanda, theek hai ye. But because the competition, you want to pull up and say, oh, let me try and do this, let me do this, let me pitch for work, let me try and do doing better. You want to kind of, you know, talk to a lot of people, branch out to people. So competition is always healthy in a good way. Never take it in a wrong way. But I always feel definitely today's kid has too much pressure because of social media. I would request our minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, to try and ease out this social media pressure, because it's really not fair. Even in school, there's so much of pressure about which laptop are you carrying. Oh, you're not carrying the Apple MacBook. Oh, you're carrying this. You know, that little thing is too in the face, too much. So it's not fair to a normal middle class person coming from a humble background. That so much of competition at peak is really sad. It's very scary, and it's becoming too cutthroat. We read so many stories about school, mein, this one got bullied, this one, and then so what happens? That's why the poor child develops the inferiority complex. See,
Right.
when you go to school, college, you're wearing a plaid and you're wearing glasses and you're very simple, but you could be a lovely person. That they're not seeing. They say, oh, Sally, money man jari, money man jari. Look at that hen she going because she's wearing a plaid and she's like, but that's so unfair. And just on the other hand, when a Sonam Kapoor wears a plaid and glasses, that becomes a trend. Is that fair? You tell me as a child, is that fair to y'all?
No.
So I guess this pressure of, and I'm sure you youngsters can only create magic and ease out this pressure among the, people to not have so much of a bitter kind of a competitive level where, there's so much of pressure, looking good, looking perfect, having the best of shoes, the best of clothes, having a walk-in closet. I mean, that's not fair. Like it's like when we were in children, you would have a better doll which was with battery and with a walkie-talkie, where I would have that normal tiny doll from the market. It's not right. It's too much of, it's really not fair, I feel. So I feel it should be brought up with so much love, because see, I remember when we used to go to school, we used to all share our tiffin, in the lunch break. We used to wait for that because I've got some Gujarati food, which is thepla, khakra, somebody got something else, somebody got some chili cheese. So I remember from school times that bonding which you used to enjoy. I wish that every child goes through, because then you come out as a normal kid. You do not become a little complex, or you do not become a little, inferior in your way you are. So I feel that is very important. So I wish every school or college should have, a tutor like you of your age who could explain this in a nicer way from childhood to a kid. They should have these kind of lessons. Yes, we're studying, but even this should be brought up where everybody's treated with equality and they come up more refined, more dignified. It's not about you going to Switzerland, finishing school and becoming this diva or this one or that one. I think that's very unfair. We still live in the world of fair and lovely, which is very sad. I'm sorry to say that. You could be fair and lovely, or you could be fair and horrible for all I care. You know what I'm saying? As long as you have a golden heart, that's what matters, right?
Yes,
and see, looks are very temporary. Today, what we used to look in our heydays, now we've grown old. So I guess looks is not something, we should always harper about, right?
Right.
It's your inner qualities, your love, your surroundings, the kind of good people. I think when you want to judge your own persona, the kind of people who love you around you, that's more important. Your well-wishers, your friends, your family.
Really well said, ma'am. So, I just want to ask you one thing. I know we are coming towards the end.
Please save this, because you're live on your thing. You'll have to save it, okay, before it goes off.
Sure, ma'am. I will save it. So, since we are coming towards the end, I wish we could converse more about this. But one last question I would like to ask.
We'll do one more. We'll go once more one of the days whenever possible. Promise.
So
we do a makeup demo also. We do a makeup tutorial for the audience, because a lot of people have been asking that. So we try and do that.
Absolutely. So one piece of advice for today's youth and today's parents. What one piece of advice would you like to give?
For the parents?
To the parents and to the youth.
Okay, here's a big request to all you lovely, darling, wonderful parents. One is that trust your kid and give them so much of love and time that they do not need to go out to look for it, because I've seen a lot of times you are wonderful parents, but I feel what misses in a child is that the attention that they need from a parent. And because they don't get it at home, they look at going to friends' houses or going around here, there, everywhere. I've seen like a lot of times there are kids who do not like eating in their own house. They like to eat in the neighbor's house or their friend's house or uncle, auntie's house, because maybe the uncle, auntie are making more pizzas, pasta, whereas mommy's not making it, or mommy's too strict. So I feel try and strike a nice balance with your kids, and I think that will really help them, because when they're getting enough of attention and time with you at home, they will not seek that outside. A. B. For the kids, darling, I would love to say that, darling, I know today's generation is a very fast-forward generation. Yes, we are competing, we are this, we are that, we are very modern. I completely agree with that. But do not, I request and I beg you, do not be ungrateful and stop loving your parents. Love your parents unconditionally. Yes, even if you go studying abroad, you get married or whatever, be for them, be there for them, because it's really unfair. You have to remember that tomorrow you are going to grow old and become a parent or a grandfather or grandmother, and then if you don't have anybody to talk to, you can imagine how lonely it gets there. So please do find time in this very busy, hectic world of yours, a little time for your parents. Think as they're your children. Like today, I treat my father, mother as my children. I feel they're my babies. I have fun with them. I tease them. I do masti with them. I cook for them. I watch movies. Like today, Sunday, we're just about to watch a movie and we're making some lovely oats ka chilla today. That's my menu today. So I keep on having these little fun things because these are special moments which we all should cherish in life, right? And that makes me feel smile, feel younger, look good. Because I don't want to kind of just waste my time doing some other nonsense. I'd rather spend my this precious time because they say kal ho na ho. So please beg you, look after your family, love yourself and love your surroundings. And trust me, this world will become a better place to live in for everybody. And yes, be positive. Never think negative. Never.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for spreading so much of positivity. And it was an absolute delight to converse with you. And I'm sure that people will be inspired today after watching our interview, and more are going to be inspired. And let's catch up for more such interviews and spread
Definitely,
more.
I'd love to. I would love to, definitely.
Thank you once again on joining on this platform, on
I would
on
love
this
you to
platform.
come to my academy also. Please come to my academy also. We could do some nice things with you, yeah?
Sure, sure, absolutely.
Thank you so much. God bless you and stay blessed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.